All right, guys, without further ado, let's get right into UFC 242. So obviously this is headlined by Khabib, the Eagle, Nurmagomedov, and he's taking on the Diamond, Dustin Poirier. Now, Dustin Poirier has been in the UFC for what feels like 80 years, but
That's right.
it really does feel like he's been fighting here forever. He's been fighting in the UFC since at least 2011, because I saw some of his highlights. He might have been fighting before that, but he's been here for a while. Khabib's been grinding. Those 27 victories, what is it, 12 in a row in the UFC now? I think 12 of those are in the UFC. So these guys have really cut their teeth.
Something like that, yeah.
These guys have really cut their teeth in the organization. So it's crazy. This is going to be an amazing fight. Never to say the last. How do you see this going? Obviously, with Dustin being the massive betting underdog.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, come on. Right, obviously.
27-0.
And it's in Abu Dhabi, so kind of like more. I wouldn't say it's like Khabib's territory.
It's
honestly.
definitely, but time zone wise, instead of the jet lag is not nearly as bad.
That's right.
I'll say that much.
Yeah, and it's also a Muslim country, all that stuff.
100%.
I'm sure
I think
he's
this
gonna
is as
be
close.
treated really well out there.
Yep.
So I mean, in those terms, honestly, man, I think it's like I said, it's normal for Poirier to be the underdog. I think Khabib still wins this. I think he pretty much does what he does.
It's gonna be a Khabib wash and repeat, rinse and repeat, because I agree with you. And Dustin Poirier has not faced anybody like Khabib. Obviously, a lot of people haven't, but that pressure a grappler who doesn't let you get up, doesn't get off of you, and has cardio for all day. That's a different level. That's just the closest thing I can say is just look recently at what Covington was able to do. Smother, continue, crazy pace.
Yep.
Khabib is one of those guys who likes to grapple a lot, and then he'll start striking the third, fourth round when the other person's really tired. Now, if he goes and I think that's a dangerous thing to do against someone like Poirier, who has great cardio himself. I wouldn't tread those waters too quickly. Maybe fourth round, not third. But yeah, Khabib's just gonna do the takedown, and I don't know how you're gonna stop this guy from doing that. Poirier, if you look at all of his highlights, it's guys that were standing with him. Absolutely. I don't see Khabib standing with him or trying to prove any point. He's the champion, and he wants to have legacy. So he's going to have legacy. So he's going to smash these guys. That's
smash them.
He's going to smash.
I think he's going to smash him. But I think Poirier is going to be a good challenge for him in terms of... I think just Poirier's gotten really tough over the years. He's been around, like you said, he's been there forever. I think that's going to play a factor. I think he already knows what Khabib is all about so well. I'm not saying that's enough for him to stop it.
There's no secret.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's enough for him to stop the plan, which everybody knows. But I think there's a potential for a decision victory for Khabib here. That's what I think.
It's insane that Khabib's been in this many fights with this many elite athletes, and his takedown average per 15 minutes is 5.
Yeah.
That's some wild stuff right there. Like, I mean, this is going to be, and I mean, takedown defense, Dustin Poirier is 69%, and that's not extremely high. That's not elite defense, and you're also facing an elite offensive takedown accuracy kind of guy, right? Like, Khabib might have 44%, but that's because he's throwing takedowns at you and grabbing ankles and making you just do awkward things that it's like, I'm going to try to take you down, single ankle pick. You're going to try to pull out of it, and when you pull out of it and turn your back to me, I'm going to grab you and take you down for real. Those are technically 2 attempts, and you're 50%.
Yeah.
Right?
So, in terms of, like, betting and stuff, like you said, huge profit if you put your money on Poirier. Reality, though, what is the actual reality of him, winning this?
You could use that as a standalone bet if you want to take the massive underdog and try to, like, buoy, like, an opposite side of, say, for example, there's an upset. You could bet a little bit of cash. You'll have a huge turnout to try to take care of a parlay where you do take Khabib.
That's right.
So that's the nice alternative, I guess, if you want to have a second standalone bet.
Take a risk. Who knows?
For sure.
But yeah.
And then obviously for the next fight we have Edson Barboza taking on Paul Felder. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
War.
Well, this should be a war because we know Paul Felder already is able to take so much. We've seen him in other fights take so much punishment and just keep going. He's a hard-headed, I think, Irish dude, right, or whatever.
Yep, the Irish
But
Dragon.
he's definitely got that mentality. He's like very, very tough. And unfortunately, if I have to like just kind of wrap it up real quick, I think even though he's that tough, he's just gonna serve as a nice punching bag for Barboza.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in terms of Paul Felder having an answer for that because I mean Paul Felder is a striker, but going into a kickboxing match with Edson Barboza is not necessarily what you want to do.
I don't think so, man.
That's really scary, and he doesn't. Neither of these guys. If you look at Edson Barboza, his takedown defense is 80%.
Yeah.
The only reason that people don't look at him like he's a beast is because of what Khabib did to him, where he took a guy with 80% takedown defense.
That's right.
That's after Khabib. This is a guy who doesn't get taken down. Edson Barboza will dictate if this fight's standing. Paul Felder couldn't take him down if he wanted to, and the better striker is Edson Barboza. Paul Felder's going to have to tough one out and land a huge shot.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that's really going to go down like that.
I think it's just we're seeing like a more basic style of kickboxing in Paul Felder, which is, I'm sure he's got great fundamentals and all that stuff. But a more basic style against a guy like Edson Barboza, who's got I'm sure he's got the fundamentals too, but he's got some extra, like the kicks and all that stuff that he does that is just nobody can predict or anticipate
100%.
Because they're so explosive. And also he's a lot more explosive in general than Paul Felder.
Oh, for sure. And when I look at Edson Barboza, I just think about a guy who's ready to just really just go tee off. Like he's just going to try to tee off because this guy can't take him down. It's not going to happen. And it's going to be, like you said, a punching bag. I'm excited to watch this fight because it's going to be a brawl. I expect Edson Barboza second round knockout.
I expect Edson Barboza third round knockout.
There it is. And obviously for Khabib, decision.
Oh, for Khabib, I thought decision.
Because I don't think Poirier going out like that.
Yeah,
I
think Poirier is going to be tough enough to stay in there, maybe stuff down some takedowns, and just survive. Maybe get a few good punches or whatever in, but I don't think he's getting finished or definitely not finishing Khabib. So
100%.
I see a decision there. Something close to the Iaquinta fight. Something close to that, maybe.
And that's the thing is, if Al was being tough, but Al didn't have the speed, the hand speed that Poirier has.
Yeah.
Poirier has power and speed. He's crisp with the hands. So if Khabib does get into that love fest I think he just needs to lean hard on the grappling. Just don't even stand up. Just keep taking him down. Use that awkward boxing to close the distance and take him down, right? Mm-hmm. And also his teammates obviously fighting in the third fight from the main event. It's Islam Makhachev. Yes, he's taking on the Tasmanian Devil Davi Ramos. Now Davi Ramos is a Brazilian. He's 10-2, which is pretty good, but he's 5'6", so he's more stocky with it, and he's a submission specialist. His wins majority are coming, or 7 of the 10 are coming from submission. So this guy is going to be coming in there trying to grapple with him. And then Islam, obviously being part of Khabib's team, loves to grapple, so he's welcoming it. He's saying, "You want to try to sub me? I'm going to sub you." I expect to see Islam Makhachev take this fight personally. He's a huge betting favorite for a reason. I would use it as a parlay with him and Khabib. They're near locks, if you ask me. Method of victory, I don't think he's going to submit this guy. This might be one of those decisions that are going to go the way of 3 rounds to none for Islam, in my opinion.
I think so too, especially looking at the stats. Davi Ramos doesn't have too bad of his stats are not bad when it comes to grappling. Like, they're fairly good, above average for sure. But I would say that means nothing against someone like Islam because, like you said, it's from Khabib's camp. I'm sure he's grappled before. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? At a high level. So if you have Khabib going at you like every single training session, I mean, Davi Ramos would be a nice breeze.
Right.
No matter how good Davi Ramos, I'm not taking anything away from him, but still.
Right. If this turns into a grappling match, it's gonna be a decision for Islam, and by the looks of it, the absorbed strikes per minute, Islam's absorbing less than one significant strike per minute. He's not getting hit, and he's landing 60% of his significant strikes. Whereas for Davi Ramos, he's absorbing 2.72. So on the feet even, Islam's got better defense and offense striking. So if he chooses to keep it standing with that, I'm assuming a reach advantage, he does, with a leg advantage especially, because of course he's 5'10" compared to Davi Ramos's 5'6". So that length, that height, that ability, and that torso, that extra length can help those punches feel longer. For sure. So if he fights long, he can beat him up from the outside, pepper him up standing up, and then maybe even try to take him down to finish him, or just finish it standing. So there is a possibility for a knockout here.
Right.
But I think Islam will be putting himself in unnecessary danger by striking with this guy, because even if you're better striking, it all takes is one punch. Whereas on the grappling, you know you're better, it's just a walk in the park for a guy who loves to grapple.
Yeah. I have pretty much the same views on it. I think Islam wins it. I think it's most likely a decision, but I'd say I would go with a second round TKO for Islam, because I think he's going to stuff everything that the other guy has, or Ramos has to present,
right,
and he's going to push him against the cage and finish him. I think Ramos, looking at his physique as well, looks like a very muscular guy.
He's going to get tired, you're right. That's
most likely going to get tired.
That's a great prediction, actually.
Because he's got to cut the distance, he's shorter, he's going to be explosive, but I don't think that's going to work, so he's going to probably get tired and get TKO'd.
Okay. I'm going to have my final one be third round submission. I'm just going to throw it in there. He's going to get tired, go to the ground, finish him off, squeeze him. All right. There it is. So the next one we're going to talk about for you guys is the Curtis Blaydes and Shamil. He's taking on Shamil, is hailing from Russia.
Abdurakhimov.
Yes, there it is. I was not going to try to take a shot at that, and you definitely nailed it. So Abdurakhimov is over here. He's fighting Curtis Blaydes. We got rank 4 versus rank 9. He's 6'4" versus 6'3", so everything's similar there, except Curtis is longer with the arms. And what's going to be interesting about all of this to me is just looking at Curtis Blaydes' finishing rate. 80% of his wins are by KO or TKO. I'm expecting Shamil to get grappled, ground and pound, and finished off. Curtis Blaydes is one of those guys who's uses his wrestling and his striking to set everything up, which is his bread and butter. It's ground and pound. Yeah, I just don't see a way for Shamil to win this. I think this is a great bounce back and hype me up, get me ready for maybe either fighting for the title or fighting somebody to be the number one contender to fight for the title type of fight. Tune up, if you will. Sure. And I think Curtis Blaydes is going to handle this relatively easily, and he's going to look very dominant.
Yeah, I think he has to win this for sure if he wants to keep his name in the mix.
Right.
In the higher, kind of like half of the rankings.
I don't think I've watched him fight.
I have not watched Shamil.
So we're kind of taking a stab in the dark in that sense. I'm excited to see what Curtis Blaydes is up to.
Shamil looks like a complete savage. Looking at his picture,
that hair, that body hair. He's wearing a sweater right there, man.
Yep.
But yeah, the Curtis Blaydes averaging 6.79 takedowns per 15 minutes, and we're looking at a takedown defense of 66%. But again, how many guys have you wrestled like Curtis Blaydes in that style? Curtis Blaydes has definitely lost a lot of weight. He's definitely coming into this fight. He's going to look even better, in better shape. He's been losing a lot of that chubby baby fat. And I'm excited to see how he looks. I have Curtis Blaydes winning this fight by TKO in the second round.
Okay, I'm gonna go crazy and I'm gonna say Curtis Blaydes first round.
Nice. Knockout. I like that prediction.
I think the other guy's gonna come in a little too slow for him. That's it.